It says we're live.
Cool.
Do you trust it?
I don't know, dude. Sometimes I don't at all. You know how that is.
Actually,
I
before
know.
you guys had showed up, people in the chat were like, "The chat's acting all screwy. I hope this doesn't affect the broadcast."
What was happening in the chat?
They were saying stuff like it was showing that like no one was in here, but then it would like refresh and like tons of people were here and just I don't know.
Standard Twitch. Yeah,
I guess
it happens.
that's not my area of expertise.
Mine neither.
It's all that Twitch plays Dark Souls that's affecting it.
Is that
Right,
actually a thing?
that is happening right now, isn't
Oh,
it?
man, I want to
Yeah.
watch that.
That just started. I remember seeing some headlines for
Did
that.
you not know that was a thing, Paul?
I didn't know that was a thing, and now I have to do this stupid podcast.
Paul turns it off.
Good night, everybody.
Did that like just start a couple hours ago, or has that have been going like all day?
I think today. I think just all day.
Okay, because I just saw headlines literally like maybe 2 hours ago for it. I don't know, but I was kind of offline all day. Hey, weekly check-in on the movies you guys have gone to the theater for. See anything in the last week?
I haven't been to a theater.
I went and saw Trainwreck. That movie's all right. I don't like the second half of it.
Okay.
And more importantly, I went and saw Shaun the Sheep.
I heard Trainwreck was terrible, by the way. So is that even worth seeing in a theater?
I would definitely not say it's terrible. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't know. Like my girlfriend and her friend loved that movie, and I wasn't super into it. But it has really high review scores. Like I'm pretty sure it's up in the 90s.
Okay. Okay.
But the movie to see right now is Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah.
From the Aardman Company. At the people who did Wallace and Gromit.
It's pretty good.
That movie's great. It is
Okay.
tons of fun. It's cute. It looks great. You know, clay animation. Shaun the Sheep's real good. And I'm pretty sure it's at 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, people in the chat are saying 85% according to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm assuming they're talking about Trainwreck. Yes, Trainwreck has 85%. Still pretty good, but
Okay.
it's no 99.
So
but,
it's not for some people then, and those are probably the people I talk to. So
I mean, I feel like if you like Easy A and Mean Girls, like kind of that style of
I like Mean Girls a lot. Easy A,
Romantic
Easy A
comedy?
was pretty funny.
Easy
Easy
A
A
has,
I liked Easy A lot.
it has some good parts, but
those are both
Hmm.
two great romantic comedies that kind of like make fun of the genre as well. I think
Sure.
if you like those, I think you'll like Trainwreck.
Okay. We'll see. There's so many other things I need to see first, though. Like, I still need to go see Ant-Man. That's actually priority.
You should go see Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still need to see him as well.
Apparently, we don't need to go see Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I
I've been
heard
hearing
that was actually worse than the other one somehow.
Yeah, that's
That
such
is
a
impressive.
that's such a bummer. Like, I want there to be a good Fantastic Four movie, and I was looking forward to this one. And like, as much as I want to go see it, it's like I'll catch it on streaming or something afterwards. I can't justify the cost. Another movie I really wanted to go see, which I was shocked that I couldn't. So the new Dragon Ball Z movie is in theaters.
I heard about this, actually.
With limited release, which I was like, it's 2015 and there's a Dragon Ball Z movie in theaters. I'm gonna go see that. Sold out.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was literally sold out, and I showed up like 15 minutes early. Sold out. To be fair, it was a smaller theater, but also 2015, and it's a Dragon Ball Z movie. That many people wanted to go see it, so I guess I am in the Bay Area. Like there was a lot of nerds here.
But, I mean, you were one of those people, even. You wanted to go see it, so...
I'm just surprised there was that many people that were that interested in Dragon Ball Z. But if it is Frieza's in it. Like Frieza's back, he's gold. So I don't know. Maybe I'll see it at some point. I guess other than that, what are you guys doing this weekend? You got any cool plans?
No? Not
I feel like I did, but I've forgotten them.
Yeah.
So they were clearly important.
I have that feeling every weekend.
I'm driving up to Portland tomorrow for a Quidditch tournament.
Nice.
That should
How
be
long
fun.
is the drive to Portland?
From my place, it's around 10 hours. I've done it before in one day. Not a big deal. But that should be fun. Hopefully I'll go to ground control, play some Killer Queen. That's what I'm really That's what I'm really wanting to do.
Killer Queen is pretty fun, so you just got to hope that there's people there willing to play it.
That's the thing is, like my group of people, um, there's gonna be 4 of us, 3 of which are over 21. So I only have 3 people, and you need what, 8, 10,
8,
8? Yeah. So,
or no, actually, I think you're right. It can be played up to 10 players. I think.
because isn't it 5 screens or something? Or no, it's 2 screens, but they're 5-player controls, isn't it?
That sounds right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully people are playing and we can be like, hey, can I jump in on the next game? Because I gotta play this thing. I gotta see what it's like.
I would love to as well.
Yeah, and it's only in a few locations, that game, but anyway, your weekends sound boring.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it that way though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time to go to the theater.
Yeah, actually, maybe. This weekend it's conceivable at least.
Yeah.
Last
at least it'll
weekend
get us
it
out of the burning sun that seems to be happening here right now.
Yep.
I'm jealous. Although Portland's supposed to be like 32 when I'm there, so that's nice.
There you go. You'll enjoy the Portland weather.
Yep, looking forward to that. I guess let's move into video games.
Ugh. All right.
That's weird. Let's not do that.
And the Top Down Perspective, which is a video game podcast.
Oh, hey.
Yay!
Yeah.
Now you got me back.
Yeah.
Now I got you back. Yeah. But if you're listening to this and you didn't know that, well, I don't know how you found the podcast. Anyway,
Pretty much.
August 13th, unlucky Thursday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out.
Jason's crying
You're
somewhere.
the second person to actually say that almost the exact same thing today. Somebody at work brought that up too, and I was just like,
Thursday the 13th. It's even more unlucky than Friday the 13th.
yeah, I basically just like shook my head. It's like, okay.
It was so unlucky it couldn't be a Friday.
But yeah, you're right. It's not Friday. I'm Sean Booker. Paul Fleck. I almost said Paul Wheeler.
Oh man.
Nice.
John Wheeler are the 3 hosts here today.
Wait, why would I
what?
take his name?
I
What are you trying to insinuate?
Do you want to be Paul Booker? Is that what you're insinuating?
No, I mean, like, if we got married, why would I take your last name? What the hell is that all about?
But John's insinuating, regardless of how it goes, you don't get your last name.
God damn it.
Which I think that's the funnier assumption here. John didn't write anything down. So, John, what have you been playing?
All right, I actually played a bunch, but I forgot to write it in. That's
all right.
I did a stream last week where I just kind of casually played through like a bunch of games I wanted to beat. 2 of them, or one I beat on screen, the other 2 I didn't. So I tried them out after.
The other 2 beat you.
Yeah, exactly. So then I beat them later.
All right.
So I played Super Adventure Island, which apparently I got to like 2 stages before the end.
Is this the one where we get a skateboard?
Yes.
Okay. I played that in the arcade a long time ago. It's a fun game.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
that one's not as bad as the NES ones though.
I've only played the arcade one.
Arcade one's probably the same as the first NES one.
Okay.
And it's hard. So yeah, so I enjoyed that. It's if you never played it before, it's a game where you play a character called Master Higgins. He's just a Samoan dude with like a baseball cap and a grass skirt, and he has to go save his girlfriend. You have a timer up top which ticks down, and if it drains all the way, you die. But the only way to fill it up is to eat food. So you just keep constantly eating food to keep your timer full, but you could die in one hit.
So basically, life.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the real like survival game, like for all this DayZ stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you get a skateboard in any of the modern survival games?
Not enough games let you just get a skateboard and just start kicking ass.
In Terraria, you can build a hoverboard.
I guess that's better. Like, why walk when you can run?
I guess so.
Did you save the girl, John?
I did it. I saved her.
Cool. Nice. Where'd you go?
I also played X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, which that game is hard. Holy shit.
Is that the most recent one that everyone hated?
No, you're thinking X-Men Legacy?
I don't think... No, that doesn't sound right. What was the most recent X-Men game? There hasn't been an X-Men game for a while.
Yeah, it's the one that Silicon Knights made that forced their company basically to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
I thought it was Legacy for some reason.
These are not organized by date. Hang on.
But X-Men Mutant Apocalypse is a beat 'em up made by Capcom on the Super Nintendo. So you venture through with 5 characters: Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Gambit, and Psylocke. And you have to go what you'd think would be beat up Apocalypse, but you actually have to beat up Magneto instead. Although you do beat up Apocalypse because why not?
He is the bad guy.
He is the bad guy, but he's also like the easiest boss in the game. Which is kind of sad.
Sure. Makes sense to me. Dude named Apocalypse being easy.
Yeah. It's X-Men Destiny.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Terrible game from what I've heard. I've still seen it for sale on shelves. Which is funny because in that lawsuit basically mean they had to get rid of them off store shelves and destroy them.
I remember that I remember what was it that they took, what's the other game by Silicon Knights?
The one about like all the
angel things.
It's the one that had all the
Too
Norse
Human?
gods.
Too Human.
Yeah,
I remember that got
so
taken
good.
down.
That game is so good.
I mean, I own a physical copy of it. I've never put it in, but I remember when people were noticing that got taken down from the game store, like the digital storefront. That's all but yeah, stuff.
Too Human is
actually,
the
now
one that
that
got pulled off shelves.
Was it Too
No,
Human?
I thought it was both of them. I thought it was both.
Yeah.
I think maybe Destiny was 2.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, Too Human did also get pulled off shelves, so that's a collector's item now.
Yeah. So I should go find that store that had it brand new sealed and pick it up.
For what system was it?
I think it was 360.
Okay. I mean, because that game also came out on Nintendo DS I'm looking at, which that's probably a great game.
I'm sure it's fantastic. Actually, that's probably the copy that's still for sale because the main lawsuit was about Unreal Engine. So it was anything built in Unreal Engine.
You're probably right, actually. That's hilarious. That's really funny. That is the only way you can play that game now legally.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
Whatever.
I like X-Men Origins Wolverine. That game's great.
Yeah, that one's still a classic.
That's awesome.
Poor Raven still making Call of Duty maps.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was looking at their Wikipedia page the other day for whatever reason, and it's like the saddest thing. They have all these games that are great, and then the last 8 years is just they worked on some maps for Call of Duty this one, and they worked on some maps for this Call of Duty, and they worked on some maps for this Call of Duty.
They did Singularity, right?
Yeah,
that game's so good.
That was their last game.
That game's so good.
It's so good. And they keep putting Lost references in their game. That game's so good.
Yeah, you're right, actually, they do.
Yeah.
It's great.
I like Marvel Ultimate Alliance a lot as well.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yep.
I could go for a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
That would be pretty good, actually. I'd be down for that too.
I think it's time.
Think it's been long enough?
What's that superhero MMO type thing that they're trying to do online? That's basically Alliance, though, because I'm pretty sure that's just.
I know what you're talking about.
The one where you can buy different heroes, but you have to buy different heroes if you want to play them.
Is it just Marvel? Is it just Marvel Heroes?
Marvel
it's
Universe
the Diablo
or something,
clone.
maybe.
Yeah, it's the Diablo clone.
I mean, that's basically Ultimate Alliance. I'm sure that's what they're doing now. So. That is a thing you could potentially
Who even owns the game rights to Marvel now?
Fuck if I know,
I'm trying to think of the last commercially released Marvel game, and I think it was actually Lego Marvel.
Yes, Lego Marvel Superheroes was the last. Well, I'm looking on list of X-Men games, and that was the last one that they were mentioned in. So I'm assuming that's got to be it, which was 2 years ago.
I think it is just called Marvel Heroes, as Forrest puts out in the chat there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want Ultimate Alliance, you can do that. You can buy every hero you've ever wanted to play for $10.99.
Apparently, they've added some crazy shit in there too.
I hear it's a good game. I've heard
it plays fine. It's just the DLC structure. It's gross.
Did you guys ever play the Avengers game? It came out a year after the Avengers. I remember getting it, and it had Kinect support, and it was a fighting game.
No.
Oh, that one.
I reviewed it actually. That's actually John. You have a set of pristine Hulk hands
Oh.
from me because they sent those with the game, and I was like, I don't want these.
The ones
and
you smash together?
They don't make noise.
They don't make the
ones?
noise, sadly, which makes me sad.
But what they do, and you may not have figured this one out, is they make your hands look as if your hands were Hulk hands.
Right, but your arms are still normal.
Your arms are still like scrawny, weak.
So basically, it's like a
way.
terrible Popeye cosplay. You just have big hands instead of big arms.
Right. But you I guess you could hit something with them and make your own noise. That's about the closest you'll get to those ones.
Use the power of your imagination.
Do you still have those?
Yeah, I do. They're like on the shelf with my masks. So,
okay,
dude, I wanted Hulk hands.
John does not throw away anything
noise, but they're still awesome.
ever. He has never thrown anything away.
That's true. That's
true. Not at all.
Oh, well, I'm glad they found a good home in your future museum.
Oh no,
that was the little
let's
asterisk.
Get the reference out of this week fast, and then we're good to go.
I remember saying under my breath, like, yeah, you can have these if they go in the museum.
This was years before the museum joke even started.
No, that's where it started. When he whispered it under his breath.
They started when you were like, I should buy this really old game that I probably will never play. Back when you were like 8 or whatever. That's when it started.
Living in Newfoundland. The Super Nintendo just come out. I should buy this really old game.
I mean, when they write the book that is your life, that'll be one of the first lines of how the museum was formed.
Who would write a biography of me?
I'm just saying, like, when it happens, when the John Wheeler story, when the Proton John story is told.
Yeah. On A&E.
On A&E.
Yeah, that's the place.
This is great.
This is so fucking stupid.
Did you play anything else?
Yeah, those were pretty much all the games. I streamed a bunch of weird stuff last night, like Revolution X, the Aerosmith machine gun game.
I've never heard of that. That sounds great.
Have you heard of it, Paul?
Yeah, I've never seen it though. I think that was before I jumped in.
Yeah, well, that was the second game of the night.
Okay.
It's a shooter where the year is 1996. And the world has been taken over by the NON organization. I forget what the acronym stands for. But basically, they are enslaving everyone, like anyone from ages 13 to 30, and they're trying to take out like all joy in the world, basically. So you go to an Aerosmith concert, and they attack the Aerosmith concert. So you have to go save Aerosmith with your machine gun that shoots CDs.
So you don't play as Aerosmith?
No, you save Aerosmith.
Are you just a fan?
Yeah.
You're just like a huge Aerosmith fan.
Yeah. Do you remember like the Terminator 2 arcade game from like the early 90s where you had the machine?
Yeah. No.
It's that, but you are saving Aerosmith instead of shooting Terminators.
Wait, are you actually an Aerosmith fan in the fiction of this universe, or are you just a bystander that's like, I don't want these people to die who happen to be Aerosmith?
You are an Aerosmith fan. You're an Aerosmith fan.
All right.
And also like they're all like you save them by beating the stages, but apparently they're also like hidden in certain objects of each stage. And if you if you save the entire band, you get a secret scene at the end of the game where you go backstage to an Aerosmith concert.
Amazing.
Oh man.
But if you don't save them all, you just get front stage at an Aerosmith concert. So
that's it? Just front stage? Oh man. Scrub.
I know, it's nowhere near as good. Also, we played the Super Nintendo version instead of like the Sega Saturn or arcade version, so it would just look like garbage the whole time.
Was there licensed music?
It was so
Aerosmith?
Fun. Oh yeah, it's like all like 15-second loops of their songs.
Okay, nice.
The best part was
are there like MIDI tracks? That's what I'm picturing here.
Oh well, they're like pretty much, but like they sort of sound like the songs, but like tiny clips.
Okay.
The best part was when we got in an elevator and they played a like an elevator like crappy jazz version of Love in an Elevator.
Amazing. That's so
okay.
It took me a second to realize it, but then I just started laughing.
There's like 2 programmers out there that high-fived when they came up with that idea.
Dude, the credits on that game are actually surprisingly like long.
Oh, there you
go. Okay.
Other than that, I played the most important game. Picross E6 is out.
I saw that and I thought about you.
I've played a bunch of it. It's Picross. I love it.
Have they changed the game?
Not even remotely.
Nice.
Okay. It's just more?
They just added there's like 300 puzzles.
Okay.
They just added a lot of puzzles.
Is this the best Picross has been?
Is what?
Is this the best like Picross now? Is this?
I mean, out of the E's, yes.
Okay. But it's no 3D Picross, so it can't be the best one.
Agreed. Yeah.
Or Mario Picross.
Mario
Dude,
Picross
I went back to 3D. I went back to 3D Picross and 100%ed it.
There you go.
And no, I still like 2D better. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, well.
Here's the thing. If Picross 3D had gotten a sequel where they like tweaked a couple things, I think it would be the best.
Okay.
But 2D beats.
But in terms of the is this? But in terms of the E ones, you said this is the best. Is it the same price? Like, should you skip the other ones?
If you have the first 3, it unlocks extra puzzles for you. So.
Okay.
Same as like the last 2 have done that. So okay. I don't know. I like Picross. It's good. I'm playing through it. I've also been playing a lot of Record Keeper as always, but because they keep adding new content every week, which is nice.
But hey, there's a new Android game out for you to play.
And Paul has played it. Paul, tell us about it.
It's good.
Thank you for that solid description of the game, Paul.
No, so what we're talking about is on Android as of today, I think it was.
Yeah.
You can finally get Fallout Shelter or whatever.
John, is there any interest for you to try this out? See what everyone's been talking about?
A little.
You should. Like, it's free.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah. I will say, though, my first, I started a vault, and I hated how it was laid out. Like, when you build a room somewhere, you have to just, destroy it if you want it, moved or something somewhere else and then, build another version of it.
You mean as opposed to in real world where you can just move the room somewhere else?
No, I'm telling you, well, first of all, it's a video game, so real world things don't apply here. But I'm talking specifically about,
Whoa, hang on. Are you telling me games aren't real? Are you making that probably?
I am making, yeah.
I'm making that statement?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I'm ready.
That's going to be my platform when I run for president of video games in 2018. Vote for me.
I'm president of video games. Paul Fleck.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to ban all games you love, guys.
I don't think you're not gonna get too far with that.
Yeah, probably not. No, what I don't like though is that I have OCD tendencies when I play these games. So I wanted my layout very specific, where all my energy supplies, my water treatment and my power and stuff, on this side kind of grouped together to be the industrial
I did the same thing. Yeah.
But when you start the game, they make you build one of each of the 3 that you start off with, because
the 3 resources. Yeah.
The 3 resources. And since you build on each other because you're building underground, you can't just put them in a grid or anything because it wouldn't make sense. You have to kind of build them in a way I wasn't happy with. So I fucked up my first vault, basically. I didn't like how that was because I had power on this side, and then on the opposite side of the main elevators that you start off with is where my water was, and then my medic bay was somewhere weird, and it was just irritating. So I got rid of that, and I mean, my dudes were dying of radiation poisoning because my water...
basically my very first Fallout Shelter was
bad.
Some rad roaches got in, and oh god, and just no, that was not a good outcome, and I was like, there's no coming back from this. I'm starting over.
Dude, the first I think I would have to talk to a bunch of people to make this statement, but I'm going to say it anyways. The first vault you build will be a piece of shit. The second one you build, when you understand how this works a little bit better, will be immaculate. I haven't had a single problem with my...
because when you're building your first vault, you're just a little baby boy.
You're learning.
You get to that second vault, and you're a man now.
Yeah.
And, you've experienced the harsh world.
Yep.
That is this nuclear wasteland.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does a free-to-play model of you can buy the lunch boxes with stuff that'll give you some cool stuff, but you don't need to because you'll kind of just get those eventually anyways.
I never bought one. Although I understand that game, before it even hit Android, had made somewhere around $5 million.
I could see that because I had the urge to maybe buy a pack of them or something, just because the shit I didn't do it, but the shit you can get from those are really cool, and they're just fun to play with a new dude with wearing some new outfit or something.
Like a super guy.
It's
that you
just
get it
yeah,
from?
it's just fun
Yeah.
getting stuff like opening. It's kind of the CS:GO model and like opening cases or whatever in like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, where there's like a random element that you buy into and it's kind of like gambling. So they have that in there, but you don't need to do it.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's
you-
pretty avoidable.
yeah. So overall, though, for a mobile game, I found myself going back to it every time I had a break today at work.
Sure. Yep. It's a good
So,
one for when you're at work.
It is actually the perfect break game because, like, you set things up, you grab all your resources, set people to what they should be doing, and then you put it down and you continue your day, and then you come back to it later. Whatever.
Yep.
It's really good.
Yeah, John, you should try it out.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm still on the fence.
I mean, it's
I
free.
yeah, I mean, like that's not deterring me. I feel like I don't have any real attachment to the Fallout games, and that kind of stymies it right there.
I mean, I don't either, but I still enjoyed it. Like, I don't know. I'd give it like 30 minutes and see if you're feeling anything.
Yeah, maybe.
But Paul, did you play anything else?
Yeah, I played a game called Olympia Rising.
I saw that you guys both got this.
Well, I
Paul
bought
gifted
him
it to me actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
because I basically said you should play this. I think you'd like it.
What the hell was I even playing that spurred that? Because you did
I
it
don't
based on whatever game I was streaming at the time.
Mass
I was doing
Effect
a
2.
stream.
Yep,
That was
must have
clearly
been
the
it.
game.
Yep. No, this is actually a Metroidvania type game where there is, like, I know I hate collectathons. The way you go through a level is you collect a certain amount of coins in that level by and fighting enemies and stuff like that.
one real quick aside.
Mhm.
I was playing some Banjo-Kazooie this week. There's way too many things to collect in that game. There's like 8 different
Kazooie or
collectibles.
Tooie?
Kazooie.
Tooie's like twice as bad.
I didn't for some reason Tui won't install on my machine. I have no idea what's going on.
Are you out of hard drive space?
No, I'm at like 80, 87, somewhere around there, give or take a couple percentages. It just won't install, and I can't uninstall it.
Weird.
Same with Lunar. Wait, yeah, no, Solar Jetman, the 360 one. There's an update that's just sitting at 100%. I don't know what's going on.
Great.
Anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, Olympia Rising, 2D action, platformy, Metroidvania type game. It's fun. It's like, just from that description, you probably have an idea of how it plays, and it does. It plays like that. I know a lot of people were saying that, like, the first boss is hard. It's not at all. I beat him the first try. Like, he's quite easy. He has one attack pattern. He, like, charges at you, then charges up the other way, charges an eye laser attack, and then, like, spawns 3 bats to attack you. That's the whole thing he does, and they're all easy to avoid. So, I don't know why people were saying, like, it's real hard, but it's not. It probably gets hard later. Maybe that's what they meant. I have more of that game to play. Apparently it's really short, maybe like 3 hours worth or something, I've heard. I've played about an hour and a half, so I'm probably half done. It's okay. It's okay.
Paul, I was thinking this myself, and then I noticed the chat is also quite curious.
Yeah.
How is a secure clicker going?
Okay. So, shout out to John's girlfriend for talking me into re-downloading.
Oh my God, Reese! Why did you do that?
She told me you can unlock actual active abilities and stuff. I was just like, oh shit, it's a video game. God damn it. But that being said, I still am not having any fun with it, so I only played another 15 minutes of it as opposed to
She
hours.
is so upset in the chat right now. She's saying, "Yes, Paul, let's talk about this."
Okay, first of all, I know people were saying, and I did get tweets and messages all week, thank you for checking out the nude patch or whatever. I did do research on it. Apparently it's like
Research.
well, like, I looked it up, and apparently it's like a bottomless.
Looked it up.
Apparently it's like you just take their bottom skirt things off, and I wasn't interested in that because I'm more about the boobies. I don't care about the other stuff in anime stuff. I just don't. So I didn't download it. It wasn't hardcore enough for me, you guys. That was the problem. That game is still not.
You'll just wait
very
for the
fun to me.
sequel, or I mean, someone's got to be working on that patch.
What
right?
patch?
Like
Oh,
a top nudity
yeah,
patch.
probably. Like, it's probably out there, and maybe I just didn't find it because I put maybe 2 like searches into Google into trying to find it. I didn't like spend a night looking at, like, researching it or anything.
Maybe it's because you had safe search on.
I don't ever have safe search on.
Okay.
Let me tell you, bad shit comes up when I try to Google anything from my home PC. That's why I don't usually. I'm very precise when I want to Google something, so I'm pretty sure I would have found it if it existed.
All right. Well, thank you for taking that bullet and looking into this for us.
No problem.
And reporting back.
It's secure clicker to me though it's like any of those other clickers. Like, I can go back to it. I probably will go back to it tonight and like upgrade all my stuff because it kind of accumulates resources when it's offline even. So I have a set pattern now where every Friday night I open up Clicker Heroes and Adventure Capitalist and just kind of like buy everything that I can and feel like I've made progress and then turn them back off to accumulate for the next week. So that's probably just gonna fall into that category for me as well now. It just added another clicker game to open every Friday.
Okay, so my mind went like every Friday night you dim the lights, you crack open a bottle of wine, load up some Sakura clicker, and things are gonna get a little weird. But
dude, things already did get a little weird.
All right. Did you play anything else?
No.
Okay. I've been playing a lot of Rocket League again.
That game is real good.
Yeah, the game's real good. There's an update for it.
Yeah, the DLC is out now, as of today, I believe.
I think it's today or yesterday.
The 13th, so today.
Oh, okay. Well, I was playing it this morning.
Okay.
New map for everyone, which I like. It's nice and bright. Looks different when you score horns play and stuff, as opposed to just like I should say like trumpets, as opposed to like the air horn.
How are the new cars?
Those you have to buy, so I did not buy them.
Oh, okay. So you didn't purchase DLC. You just got the patch from the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But the main reason I was playing a bunch of it this week was I wanted to finally finish off the season, which I did. So that was done. That was real good. What the patch also adds, and I guess this is just for the PS4 version, there's now like controller speaker support. So whenever you do anything that gives you like a little badge in the top, like cleared the ball, centered it, like a noise will come out of the controller. So that was kind of
cool.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, not much else to say about that. Rocket League is still real good. The game that's really had my attention all week is this little iOS game called Lifeline.
Okay.
And it's really cool. Specifically in the way you can interact with it. It's just text. It's just a text adventure basically. The premise is someone crash landed on some foreign moon and they're sending messages back to you. And the person's just named Taylor, so it's kind of gender ambiguous. And all they'll do is they'll kind of say like what they're up to, and then they'll give you a choice of like, hey, do you think I should leave the ship or hang around here longer? Like they'll give you a binary decision, and then you say what you think, and then they'll do that and stuff, and they'll send you like 5 more lines of dialogue before it says like Taylor is busy, because Taylor will be doing something. Like, for example, it'll be like, hey, there's like a ridge over there. Should I check it out, or should I look around my crash ship for more surviving crewmates? And you can say what to do. And if you say maybe go to the ridge, it'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go start my trek over there. I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm gonna turn the comm off, and it'll say Taylor is busy. And then you can't do anything with the game. You have to wait. And the waiting period is different depending on what Taylor's doing. But sometimes it's been an hour. Sometimes it's been 5 minutes. You have to wait. But the coolest part, and I don't know how Android works. I'm not even sure if it's on Android. But on iOS, when you get a notification on your screen, because since it's just dialogue, you can actually just start receiving notifications on your lock screen that is what Taylor is saying. So you can basically read the game from your lock screen. And on iOS, when you swipe a notification to the left, like for example, if you get a text message, you can swipe to the left and then tap reply and reply right there. If Taylor needs a response, you can swipe that one to the left and there'll be your 2 options right there on the lock screen. So you can play the game while your phone is locked. Or if you're on a different app and you just swipe down to bring up like the notification list, you can read what Taylor was sent to you and respond right there, swipe the notifications away, go back to whatever you're doing on your phone.
This is made by 3 Minute Games.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is in fact on Android for $2.60.
Okay, yeah. On iOS, it was $1.99.
So I'm buying it right now.
I would recommend it because this is just the fact that you can play through notifications and stuff.
That's pretty cool. I like
That's
that.
cool. I've never seen that on a phone game, and that's 100% utilizing this platform. And I think that's just really interesting and new.
Installing right now.
So if this sounds cool to you, I think it's worth checking out just to see. This is just something new and unique, and I just love. It also has Apple Watch support. You can play from that and stuff. You know, if you have an Apple Watch, I don't, but it's just real nice. Like if I'm on Twitter or something, and then I start getting notifications. Taylor's like, "Oh hey, I found some glow sticks. What do you think I should do with them?" And then you just say, light one now or save them for later. And Taylor's like, "Okay, I'm gonna keep searching around. Talk to you later." And yeah, it's just really cool storytelling. I'm constantly curious what's gonna come next, and I'm hoping that once I finish it, I'll probably jump back into it, do it again, and take completely different choices. And I hope it branches out quite a bit. But yeah,
it sounds interesting. I'm actually looking forward to playing this.
It's super interesting. It is super interesting, and it's totally unique to this platform. It's really like much like when I love the Wii U proving why you need a Wii U, and like the DS proving why you need a DS for these specific games. This is like a game that specifically works for the a phone's interface and whatnot, and how only stuff a phone could present and whatnot.
Okay, like you can see my cam here. Does this happen often? Where it just like spams the shit out of your notification bar?
Oh God.
Yeah, like it'll send you like 10 things because she's basically telling you what's up, and then sometimes she'll only send you like 3 things, but sometimes she'll be like, "Hey, I came across like blah blah blah, and this happened," and she'll like. So I keep saying she because I've kind of internalized Taylor as a girl, but again, there's no pronouns in there, so it's gender ambiguous. Unfortunately, maybe because now that I've said she, other people are going to have this put in their head. But yeah, sometimes like she'll talk to herself because she's lonely or she got hurt and she just wants to chat with you and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and I hope this person does more like this. Like I would be so up for a sequel. So,
yeah, it looks. Yeah, I'm actually excited to try this out. So
it's a really interesting thing for sure. But that's basically all I played. So let's talk about news.
Woo!
Yeah,
there's quite a bit of it
that's going on.
Yes, a lot of it is pretty short, and I don't even know how much you want.
I like the second note doesn't link to anything. It's literally just a statement. I can't wait till we get to talk about.
I don't even know what it's about, honestly.
Oh,
you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
Right, let's do it right now then.
Okay.
You want to do it right now? Oh my God!
Okay.
Show this to Paul, please. Show this to Paul.
Well, why don't you look it up and I'll introduce the topic. You can put a link in the chat for anyone missing.
Yeah, could you put it in the chat? Because if I open Skype,
week,
it'll throw
Time Magazine. I'm sure, I can't believe you haven't seen this. That's why I was almost like, maybe we shouldn't even talk about it because it's old now. Time Magazine put out what their next cover is going to be.
Okay.
And it's about VR and the Oculus Rift. And the cover...
Oh, wait. This sounds super familiar. Okay, give me a link anyway.
In the chat. It's dropped in the chat.
Okay. Paul, I would like you to paint us a word picture of what you are seeing now.
All right, so it looks like Game Over Greggy.
It's Palmer Luckey.
Okay, jumping in the air because he's so excited on the beach. But
a fake beach behind him.
Yeah, but it's a fake beach because he is wearing a VR headset of some sort. I can't tell.
It's the Oculus. Well, Palmer,
the creator of the Oculus Rift is 22 years old. What? Is that true? The creator of the Oculus Rift is 22.
Palmer Luckey's pretty young. Yes.
Wow.
That makes me mad.
Kind of, yeah.
What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Fuck this guy. This guy is more successful for me. I am on the internet. I am going to yell about it. That's how this works.
That's what everyone's done, though.
I want you to know that he's more excessive than you literally will ever be.
I mean, that's arguable, but knowing me, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, me too. I'm not trying to say it's just you specifically.
No, I know. Like, knowing me, I don't have the drive to ever make a fucking corporation that sells.
You could probably combine our star power for our entire life. You're not going to get half of where.
Well, that's what TDP is, right? This is basically Facebook for podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. We're the Facebook of podcasts. Is that
No,
what you're
man,
saying?
we're street level. We gotta just like shark our way up to the top, man. That's
right.
what we're doing.
So yeah, it's this really kind of awkward photo of the jump is weird. Like it looks like someone said, "Hey, Palmer, why don't you try to be a fairy or a jackal? What is that? What is?" And then he like jumped on a trampoline, so his like arms are kind of like up, and it's just super awkward. Which how do you guys feel about this cover and like mainstream people getting exposed to VR like this?
Like this, terrible. That's a terrible cover. Make it a
Yeah.
like for Time Magazine. Let's be a little bit more classy here.
Okay, pitch your VR.
Dude,
cover.
I don't even know. Like when I'm sure there's been a Time Magazine cover back in the 90s when it like saying something like "Is VR possible?" ? And then like some weird techno program thing that was just wireframes and colors. Like just do something like that. You don't have to show a dude looking like an idiot jumping.
Here's the thing, like he's been on the cover of multiple magazines. Like looking up for that picture, I found a picture of him on Forbes and a picture of him on Wired.
Yeah.
And while he looks like he's a thug on the Wired one because he's wearing a hoodie.
That's great. Okay.
But like the Forbes one, he looks super presentable.
All hoodie wearing individuals are thugs. Is that what you're saying? Can I quote that?
He specifically looks like he's gonna mug you, which is really weird.
Okay. I mean, I feel like this would have happened eventually. Like most people look super dumb with these headsets on.
Oh,
right?
everybody. Every single person.
So like eventually this had to like happen. This one's just like super awkward. Like with like he's not wearing shoes. There's the fake beach.
Yeah. It's bad. It's real bad.
But like I think it's just a good example of like there's definitely going to be growing pains as this becomes more mainstream and the normals start picking up on it.
Yeah.
The normals.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that was the thing. Something I'm super excited. This came out of nowhere. You guys remember Crossy Road?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Crossy Road is teaming up with Namco to make a Pac-Man endless scroller.
Okay. Sure.
Which sounds perfect to me. So if you think of like a Pac-Man grid, but it just goes forever, and it's just to see how far you can make it. And there's like, there's obviously infinity ghosts,
yeah,
and whatnot. This is called Pac-Man 256. I don't know when it's coming out exactly. It was just kind of announced, but I'm excited because Crossy Road was great, and Pac-Man's cool.
Pac-Man is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm watching the video of it right now. It looks like you're running away from the kill screen.
That's what it is. The original Pac-Man
cool.
Kill screen. So that's what's incentivizing you to keep going. And then you need to dodge ghosts. But at the same time, you can eat power pellets and chomp some ghosts for more faster score. And there's still like you can go from one side to the other and whatnot. Fruit in there, get some extra bonus points.
I like this concept a lot.
Dude, this looks
really
crazy.
Cool.
I'm watching the video that linked to the article right now.
Yeah, it looks like I think it's a great idea. Like those Crossy Road people know how to mix up endless running. So I am all for that.
Yeah, for sure.
We already mentioned there's a Rocket League update. Apparently now it has cross game private lobbies, which Paul and I were wanting.
Yeah, we should definitely try that out sometime when you're free.
Try that out.
Yeah,
I'm super curious how that would work from an interface perspective. Like, am I going to just look up your Steam name for my PS4? Like, how's that going to even work? I'm honestly just kind of curious.
I don't know, man.
I've never really tried it. So I'm from like an academic standpoint. I want to know how this is going to go.
Yeah, I agree.
A bunch of people sent this in when I was saying, hey, send us some news. And it was apparently, what's this guy's name? Chris Pranger. Did you guys hear about this guy getting fired from Nintendo?
No.
I think that happened today, didn't it? Yeah, the time.
Yes.
Oh no, timestamp says yesterday actually.
Yeah. So
no, today because the clock just crossed. That's why.
Not over here. Future man.
I'm sorry.
Stop bragging with your.
No, I like
privilege.
being in the future.
Future privilege. Tell me what's about to happen.
You're about to look at your clock and realize it's 11:01 p.m. where you live.
Oh my god.
I did it!
How'd you know? Were you saying me or like everyone listening?
You specifically.
Okay, I know. Okay, yeah, Chris Pranger. A bunch of people were sending this in. He worked for Treehouse, Nintendo
Yeah.
Treehouse.
Okay.
He went on a podcast, from what I understand, a pretty small podcast last week, but was talking like super openly. And then Go Nintendo picked up a bunch of his quotes, and then he was fired because of stuff he was saying.
Really?
He was saying stuff like defending the Wii U name. Here, I'll just quote him. It irritates him that NeoGAF complains about the Wii U sales suffering due to confusion surrounding the system's name. This complaint is mostly just fan overreaction to something we can only see in hindsight. And then there was one where he was defending Sakurai, and he was saying Sakurai's outlook on the game is very dire. He gets really sad when he finds out how people are reacting, and he gets sad whenever there's a leak because he really wants to create, and he's an auteur in the most crazy sense. He's basically Vincent van Gogh cutting off his own ear, and we're sitting there going, frick, stop doing that. And he's like, you guys don't get it, my vision. And then, so what I don't understand is why he was talking so openly when Nintendo's usually pretty cagey about this. And I guess that's why they let him go. I'm kind of confused why this is news.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I don't
guess
think it's
like,
news.
I think it's news because it's a sign of like a Nintendo employee actually being a little candid about
Okay.
like Nintendo in general, how it
You're
works,
right.
and B, that it immediately led to this.
Well, I mean, of course it did. Whenever you're like, if you represent a company and you talk in any way they don't like about like their stuff, they can fire you. That's why NDAs happen and all that sort of shit. You have to go through hoops to talk to people. That's why I don't think it's news, because like the news essentially was brought up as like dude says something a company he worked for didn't like and got fired, obviously. But you're right. Like just the fact that there was a Nintendo employee speaking openly, that's kind of cool. I don't know why.
There's a bunch of other stuff he said. Someone in the chat was saying, wasn't there a Xenoblade thing? Yeah, I believe he was saying something about like Xenoblade is not going to sell enough. Like,
no, I think he said it didn't sell enough.
Oh, I was
sorry.
Wow, he's like bad mouthing. Shit.
No, here's the paragraph in the Kotaku article.
Okay.
Last Thursday, a NeoGAF poster transcribed one particular section of Pranger's podcast comments that angered a few fans. He had poked fun at people who say things like, "Why do you hate money, Nintendo?" while asking the company to localize niche games, pointing out that games like Xenoblade don't often sell enough to justify expensive voice acting and other production costs. We got it in the States by luck, he says. The luck that and Nintendo of Europe decided, oh, we'll take the fall, we'll localize that, we'll take all the costs. So, okay, because someone is going to have to eat the cost somewhere because that game is guaranteed to not sell enough to justify how big that game is. Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast he was on was called Part-Time Gamers, if anyone was interested.
Why are you advertising other podcasts? No, I'm just kidding. I actually want to know, too.
If anyone is interested in listening to, I don't know what episode it is or anything, but I'm assuming it's within the last week or so.
That's the dude we need to get to guest on here, man. He's got the scoop
Chris
on Nintendo,
Pranger?
and he doesn't give a fuck what he says.
No, actually, he's been going out there saying, like, he's actually really sad about his actions.
Of course.
Yeah.
So,
but what I'm saying is that he's a Nintendo employee we can break. We found one. We got to get him.
Oh my god. Well, he's not there anymore, so he's kind of already broken.
Yeah. He's a broken man. That's really sad. You know what? I feel bad for that dude now. I made myself sad about his situation.
Maybe this next news story will make you happier. They're remaking Resident Evil 2.
Of course they are. The rumor's been circulating for months.
Well, it's confirmed.
Months? I would have figured years at this point.
Oh, I mean, there was a fan remake that was being done for years.
Well, not even
but
the fan remake. Like,
that wasn't a rumor, technically, though. That was just fans remaking or trying to remake it. Yeah, but, I mean, there's been whispers for a long time. But, yeah, it's confirmed. That's cool. That's gonna be
Hey,
good.
I'm on Windows 10. I didn't mention that.
How is
Anyone
it?
else on Windows 10?
No.
I'm still on 8.
You're still on 8?
I'm on 7.
I'm honestly surprised you're on 8.
I had no choice because the laptop came with 8.
Okay.
Oh.
Have you gotten the little notification saying, "Hey, you can upgrade and stuff"?
Yeah, but I don't want to chance not having my programs work. So
Here was the cool thing. So this is start to finish how my installation went. The thing popped up. I was like, sure, let's do it. It went through the thing. Took a few hours to navigate everything over and whatnot. I didn't do any kind of like put stuff like clean install or anything. I just went through the machine. Windows 10 loaded up. The desktop would not stop flickering, and only half of it was there. So something went wrong. But there's a way that like if it was like holding down Shift and clicking Power, and there was an option there that just let you revert back to Windows 8, which was cool. I've never seen that before, so I did that.
Okay.
That took a bit. Then I just went through the same steps again to get Windows 10, and now it's good. So that's kind of nice that if your programs don't work, you can just revert back to 8 really easily. But I like 10. The start screen's gone, which is nice. I don't have to deal with that like ever. Yeah, I really have not played with it a ton so far, but anyway, Windows 10 is a thing.
Cool.
Okay, we're ready for the news stories. So that PlayStation Plus voting thing where you could vote for what game comes next out of a selection that was being rumored, that's a real thing. You have to do it on the PlayStation 4. Specifically, what is it called? It's like vote to play under the What's New notifications or visit the PlayStation Plus section of the store.
Okay.
Right now, your options are Armello, which I don't know what that is.
Armello looks so cool.
Grow Home, which I've heard great things about that.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
That's a platformer.
Okay.
3D platformer from Ubisoft earlier this year.
It was like a small indie group at Ubisoft.
That I heard a lot of really...
It's super weird, but like super cool.
I heard a lot of really cool things about it. Yeah, it's been on Steam for a while, and I bought it during the last sale, but now I would be happier to play it on my PS4. And the last one is Zombie Vikings, so you guys can vote. I'm gonna go vote for Grow Home when I remember to do so. But I like that idea. They should definitely keep up with that. And I think they were saying before that any games that don't get picked will just be heavily discounted. So I guess everyone kind of
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Cool.
This next news story is kind of interesting. Did either of you guys ever see John Wick?
Oh yeah.
I have the Blu-ray sitting on my coffee table waiting for me to watch
tonight,
it.
please watch it. Please.
Really? Dude, I have work to do. I can't.
John Wick is really good.
It has your name in it.
It's been sitting on my coffee table for 2 months at this point. I just have not sat down and watched it.
John Wick is super cool. I really like it. That nightclub scene is awesome. I guess John Wick 2 is a thing. It's coming out September 2016. The bigger news, though, is Starbreeze is working on a VR John Wick reality game, virtual reality game, which Starbreeze is awesome.
Yeah.
And they know their first-person stuff. So, like, I am totally cool with that mashup. Starbreeze working with a John Wick thing. That sounds great. I know Starbreeze has their own. They have Star VR or whatever it's called, but that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. Seeing what that is. John Wick is a cool movie if you haven't seen it. There's no information about this, but it was just announced that Ori and the Blind Forest is getting an expansion later this year. I hope it also comes with a patch that lets you go back into your save file and continue playing around with that.
No shit. Yeah.
But I'm excited because I love Ori and the Blind Forest, so I want more of that game.
Hopefully there's a patch with it that fixes John's experience on the Xbox.
Would be nice.
I don't know anything about this. Warcraft Legion is announced.
Yeah.
Paul, you excited? You're the Warcraft guy. You're the Warcraft correspondent.
I have so many things I'm happy with that they say they're gonna do.
Like what run us through the news.
The fact they're adding the Demon Hunter class, that's going to be kind of cool. That's something people have wanted for a long time. They're kind of doing the fan servicey thing of going back to a period in that lore or whatever again with characters and so on, just to kind of get people back because they're still a company at the end of the day and they want subscribers and all that sort of thing. So they're getting a little more fan servicey. I like the idea of like class halls basically, so like you'll go to like an area and it's just all people of your sort of class in the game. I like that idea. I don't like the artifact thing where like all these legendary cool weapons that other people in the lore like used is just kind of like now your butter knife you get because you're a cool dude who plays video games. Like I don't like that very much.
Not always the case though.
No, it's not, because these weapons that they're kind of giving you are things that like back in the old days you either couldn't get or had to literally have no life to get, so they almost had like a weight to them with how like grandiose they were, and now it's just the thing you get because you play a video game. Whatever. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of specific things I could go into. I'm not going to do that here. I'm not going to do that at all because you know what? They've surprised me before when I was just like, this expansion looks fucking garbage, and I liked it a lot, and they've gone the other way where, oh man, this looks cool, and it was fucking trash. So I kind of have to wait until I see more than just...
Are you looking forward to it at least?
I'm looking forward to more content in general. Like, there's nothing really standout-ish about this that makes me, like, froth at the mouth for it, though, personally.
Okay, but tell me, how are you looking forward to Tomb Raider Go coming out on August 27th?
You know what? I actually am. I am looking more forward to that because, for one thing, it's actually going to happen real soon.
Yep.
And it's just... I like those Go games so far.
You mean that Go game?
That Go game, so this one's probably going to be as good.
John, maybe? As someone who wants to play Hitman Go, are you going to jump on the Lara Croft Go with us?
Maybe.
You should do it.
How much is it going to be, does it say?
The last one was $5.
All right.
So I'm assuming this will be $5.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and that comes for iOS and Android on the same day, so that's definitely cool.
Yeah.
That's it for the news.
Yay.
Hooray. So it's time for emails.
How do people send in questions, guys?
Topdownperspective@gmail.com. TV Podcast on Twitter.
Facebook.com/topdownperspective.
I had to let you have one.
Thank you.
But if you want to
I knew you
write
needed it. I knew
if you want to do a handwritten letter, you can do John's P.O. box, and we'll read whatever it says. It doesn't even matter what it says.
But we're not going to give you what the P.O. box is, so you have to go subscribe to his YouTube channel first, and then you'll be able to see it.
Is that where it is? Is that where you find how you figure it out?
I can't actually remember where it is.
It's listed on my YouTube, and it's listed on my Facebook.
All right. I'll read this first one.
Okay.
From Mama Kazooie. So I gotta ask while I'm here. I hope you don't mind that this question isn't exactly isn't exactly a gaming question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm heading back to hell. I mean school pretty soon. For the past few years, I haven't exactly been doing well in school. It's not tests. I do decent on tests. It's homework. I cannot force myself to do homework. I'm shocked I made it past my sophomore year. I don't want to be the slacker anymore, and I want some advice. What the hell do I do to fix my issue? All right, how do you guys deal with homework?
I actually just kind of dedicated the time in class to starting on homework if they would announce it early and just trying to get it all done. I would actually even stay just like at school maybe an hour later before going home. And
that's cool to avoid the distractions at home?
Well, no, because it's kind of one of those things. It's the same way I deal with like my job now, where as soon as I walk out of this building, I am no longer working. So, like, I kind of wanted it to be, like, as soon as I leave the school or the library, like, if I'm going to the library after school or something, as soon as I walk in the doors of my house, this is sanctuary. There's nothing about that's going on right now. So I tried to kind of keep it that way, separate the two lives a little bit.
I had something similar. I would, and this was more so in university, but I would specifically go to the school to do my homework in the library there.
Sure.
Just because I would have tons of distractions at home. And it's like, it's going to be quicker in the long run. Yeah. And I can just bunker down and get it, like, just do a session. Yeah. I just kind of force myself to do that. John, do you have any homework strategies?
Get rid of all distractions that you can. You really need to do it. Sometimes even going somewhere else to do the work can help. Yeah. I remember there was a while in university where I used to just go to a local library and do work there because I was having a hard time focusing at home.
Exactly.
Or even a coffee shop or something, like anywhere where there's basically not a TV and a computer.
That was my thing. I was like, I'm not going to do homework. I have like 4 game consoles to my right. Who am I kidding? I'm not doing this homework.
Yeah.
So I like, well, going to the school library, we're gonna work and get it done there.
Yeah.
She has a second question, actually about gaming. Favorite and least favorite consoles and why?
Least favorite's the 3DO. That thing's a piece of shit.
Have you even used one though?
Yeah, I have. I don't own one,
Okay.
but I've used one.
All right, as long as you've used it.
It's a piece of shit. I hate it.
What's your favorite console then?
Uh,
Are we counting handhelds as the consoles?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume
think we should.
PC isn't a console, so I'm not gonna say that because that's. The
I feel like
obvious
PC is like the easy answer because it's been around since forever.
Yeah, I feel like okay, if you can't say PC.
Well, I'm thinking I can't say PC because I don't consider it really a console.
Okay.
I mean that too.
I mean, I'm almost thinking a console is just like a gaming platform.
Yeah,
Gaming
dedicated gaming platform.
Okay, PC, just straight up.
But if you can't say PC,
Okay, that's what we're.
I'm just saying, like,
a
'cause I'm saying,
dedicated gaming only platform.
like everyone would say PC. So I'm just saying, if you can't say PC,
Everyone would say PC. Oh man, you can write us all your hate mail at topdownperspective
I'm just saying,
at
like, if you-
gmail.com.
I'm basically saying, like, hey, you want the biggest game library, PC. There you go. I know my favorite is the original DS, but I'm actually just gonna say 3DS because it can play all the DS games.
The PlayStation 2, hands down.
Is your favorite? That's a good one.
I'm torn between the SNES and the Game Boy Advance.
For your favorite?
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
SNES.
What about
I
your
think.
least favorite?
Least favorite's tough. Like, I mean, I could do like Paul and say like, oh yeah, I don't like the 3DO. I don't like the Jet.
garbage.
I mean, they're all kind of a bunch of garbage ones. The 32X is kind of garbage too, stuff like that. But I guess out of ones that I actually own, I guess the Sega CD.
I'm
Because
trying to think.
anyone that had like funny videos is really tiny, and you can kind of get on computer or other systems at this point. So yeah, I'll go with that.
I can't. I'm trying to think of the consoles like I've played that I'm like, this was just awful.
Are you saying I took the easy road out, John, for least favorite by saying the console that's like one of the shittiest?
I'm saying that. Yeah, I'll say that.
All right.
I mean, at least you played it, and you're not just going like, I'm gonna pick this one. Like, I mean, I played a bunch of Jetman or Jetpack, but I'm not gonna say the ZX Spectrum. Even though all those games are, most of them are not good. John, speaking of which, did you play any more of Rare Replay?
No.
Okay, I want you to play some of those ZX Spectrum games, like at night, like all those. Anything
Like I
with
played a
Saberman.
bit of Lunar Jetman, but I haven't touched any Saberwolf.
Anything with Saberman in it,
All right.
I think is awful. I don't
I'll
like.
try in the next week to load up the Xbox and try out.
There's three. It's Saberman, Underworld.
No, it's Saberwolf, Underworld or Underwolf, and I don't remember what the third one is.
Night Lore. That's it. Night Lore. Okay, least favorite. Maybe the Game Gear, just because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
battery consumption is awful.
Like, just as a console, it was useless because it was supposed to be portable, but it would die in like
thing's
half
huge.
an hour.
Although, like, the thing is though, like the screen is awesome. Like it's.
I haven't looked at one on in a long time. I remember it being awesome. I don't know if that's true.
And it's
though.
big, like it's like that. Even though like the Game Boy Advance had like way better games and whatnot, it was like this thing. The screen is just super cool, but like the battery consumption is crazy. Basically, I just have it plugged in all the time. And I think all my favorite games that I played on the Game Gear, I also had on the Genesis, so I could just play them there too. All right, who's got the next one?
Joey writes in, Paul, why do you end up playing so many porny games? Examples: Honey Pop, Sakura Clicker, the one where you slay vampires by ripping their clothes off.
Keep a strip? Is that what he's talking about?
Akiba's Strip. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. I play a lot of different games. I am a connoisseur, if you will. I try a whole bunch of different stuff out, but
Saying academic purposes.
But every now and then, I just like some anime boobs. Fucking sue me. Like, Honey Pop though, like legitimately I bought it as kind of a joke, like, oh, this is gonna be awesome or whatever, and I kind of really like the gameplay aspect of it a lot. The like match 3 with the RPG elements and the dating sim all mixed together. Like I really actually like how that game is mechanically. Sakura Clicker, I blame on John's girlfriend 100% almost. And
Almost.
So would that be 99%? Like we do
90.
have numbers.
Let's say 90.
There's a scale there you can use.
Sure, let's say 90.
Okay.
And Akiba's Trip, that one just I actually liked the way the animation looked in the screenshots, and like thought the premise was ridiculous, and I stopped playing it because it doesn't control very well.
Okay. John, you want this next one?
Yeah, give me one sec here. This one comes to us from Great B-Man. Oh, I'm surprised you don't want to read this one out.
Oh,
how about another from Dad's Great Game Gifting Gala?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. This is a bit of a twist because this one was actually good by most critical and fan declarations. A year had passed since that magnificent disaster of a present that was Tony Hawk Ride, and I think my father took note of that that disappointment in my face back then. So thanks to you
because
guys.
you smashed it over your knee in front of him.
Thanks, Dad. Smash. And looked him straight in the eyes the whole time. Didn't turn
Tony
away.
Hawk Ride? I wanted Tony Hawk Shred! Everyone knows it's better. Snowboard for life. And then that's when he does like a kickflip onto his snowboard and snowboards out the window.
That's right.
Kickflip onto a snowboard?
Yep. You heard him.
Yep.
Oh my god, I lost where we were. Although thanks to you guys, this thing has turned into a great conversation piece. And I wanted to set things right. When the day came for opening new gifts, I took notice to the much smaller size, roughly that of a single video game, and ripped the wrapping off to reveal Mortal Kombat 9.
Okay.
A very good
Yeah,
it's really good. A very good choice by all accounts. Its story mode was well put together, the controls are tight, and it was a great return to roots that everyone seemed to love. There's just one problem. I'm terrible at fighting games.
You and me both.
They're near the bottom of genres that I can't actively get into. So while I did my best to smile and show appreciation, I think I let a bit of my disappointment slip through.
As I did my best to show appreciation, I was actually dying inside, slowly.
Just like everyone in Mortal Kombat 9.
Yeah.
Dad kept a strong face, but I think deep down he felt like he failed. Sorry, but even when you get it right, you're still in the wrong. Feel free to press F to pay respects. Rip chat. With that said, I did take the time to actively play the game once I got back to my humble abode, which isn't the first time I've done this for the genre. Honestly, I'd love to learn how to play, even going as far as getting a fight stick, but I just can't comprehend even the very basics of the genre. I could set it to the easiest difficulty and still get my head handed to me by the AI. Are there any game genres you guys have tried to get into but just can't seem to grasp? Not specifically a genre, but I guess Madden. Like,
very specifically Madden.
The Madden genre.
Dude, I played Madden against one of my roommates. I got bodied.
I remember getting some boxing game one year for Christmas or something on like the PS1, and I tried playing it, but I was like, this is awful. Actually, here's a good one. Simulation racing games. I find it so boring.
I agree with you up to a point, but when you're in that mode, it's really, really good. Like,
I want to go so fast. I just want to hold down the go button and dodge stuff and then boost.
All right, you're right. Simulation does not sound like your type of racing then.
I remember just like chatting with friends. I'm like, oh, what are you playing right now? Forza like 4 or something. I'm about to do a 3-hour long race.
Oh my
That
god.
sounded awful. But he was exciting. And then sports games just nope. Don't care for him.
I'm with him. Fighting games, like I think we have a difference scene of why we can't seem to wrap our heads around it, though. It sounds like he has problems with just kind of understanding how the mechanics kind of flow together in the game.
Where you're like a savant and it's just too easy for you.
No, that's not at all it. It's just that, like, I understand how to do things mechanically. I just can't seem to do it to a level where I feel happy with it, so I give up. Like, I don't want to put in the time to, like, be good at it.
I mean, I would not say I'm good at fighting games, but I like seeing all the crazy stuff that happens. So,
Well, yeah,
and again,
but
Mortal Kombat 9's story was great.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, for sure.
Andy writes, Galgun 2 Double Peace was confirmed for a localization to the West late last week by Inti Creates.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's cool.
If you don't know what Galgun is, it's a rail shooter like the House of the Dead series, but with schoolgirls whom you shoot pheromones at to ward them off.
Yeah.
Personally, I am very excited for this since we never got the first game over here. And that's the end of his email. Thanks for the update.
No.
Public service announcement. Yeah. He continues. So that brings me to my questions. Are there any series that have a localization of a later title that you enjoyed but wished previous installments would get a localization? Rhythm Heaven,
Yes.
Earth Defense Force. Although we ended up getting those eventually.
Earth Elite Beat Agents. Although I have the 2 Japanese ones, but
That's a good.
I just
that's a
want
good
more
one.
of that. Like, give us that. Oh, the jump games, those DS ones, like
the Shonen Jump ones.
Yeah, I have the first one. My friend when he went to Japan, he picked it up for me, and then when I went there, it was just more money than I wanted to spend on a DS game for the second one. But like Jump Superstars and whatever, those seemed like awesome. People are saying Fire Emblem. Yeah, Fire Emblem for sure. That's a good one. Paul, do you have any?
Not off the top of my head, no. I'd have to look up a list of stuff that never was released here, but then was at some point in like the 3rd or 4th.
Not even like some Resident Evil thing?
No, because they've all been released over here that I've cared about.
Yeah. Then there's like 2 Resident Evil games we didn't get, maybe.
Yeah.
And one of them was a light gun game.
We got enough light gun games. I'm okay. I'm okay.
He continues, are there any arcade rail shooters you enjoyed when you were younger and would religiously feed quarters tokens into? I've always been fond of the Time Crisis and Police 911 ones myself.
House of the Dead, every time.
Police 911 2. I played that a ton at university. I actually managed to beat it.
911 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Police 911, the sequel was called Police 911 2.
I know. Yeah. Those games are great, Police 911 games. House of the Dead is my answer, though. 100%.
I never really played rail shooters. It was usually fighting games or beat 'em ups when I was at the arcade.
Yeah.
So I don't have like any.
There
really.
was this what was that? Wasn't there like a silent scope or like a sniper one?
Oh, Silent Scope is so good.
Yeah, it was real good.
Oh man. When I was in LA a couple months ago, I got a chance to play the Silent Hill light gun game.
Oh man, how was it?
Yeah. Good, but unfortunately the screen had major screen burn, so half my shots didn't register. So I couldn't get very far, which was the shitty thing. But I got to at least fight Pyramid Head.
That's pretty cool.
Because Silent Hill has to have Pyramid Head in it.
Where was this?
This was at round 1 in Los Angeles.
Okay. Cool.
They also had Time Crisis 5, which I didn't realize was out.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Finally, random question, but did anyone pick up anything from the festival Steam sale in honor of Summer Comiket?
Comiket.
He picked up World and Economica and Fairy Fencer F. I don't even know what this was.
Yeah. I was looking into Fairy Fencer F. I'd like to know how that is. So who wrote this in?
Andy.
Sorry. Andy, if you could like tweet me or something, just let me know how it is if it's worth my time. I was looking into that one a little bit, but no, I didn't get anything.
All right.
Got this next.
I can do it.
Go for it.
Okay. Bruce writes in with 2 questions. Number 1, what are some of your favorite themed enemies from games? I'm a big fan of both the 7 Deadly Sins from Devil May Cry 3 and the tarot card bosses from the House of the Dead series. Those are great answers, by the way, that he took.
I always like themed like Power Ranger enemies, like the Axum Rangers from Super Mario RPG or the Midget 5 from God Hand.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time just thinking of themed enemies.
Okay, I don't really like the game that much. Like, it was okay, but I like Dante's Inferno, going through the, like, different layers of hell sort of thing with the themed bosses for the different circles of hell or whatever that you're going through. I like that concept more than I like that game.
Devil May Cry 3 is probably the only one I can think of right now, so I'm gonna have to go with that one. Although I really do like Devil May Cry 3. Second question?
Yeah, second question. John and Paul, I know the game has been out for a while now, but would you consider playing through Choice Chamber again on your Friday streams now that the game has been officially released? I really enjoy your playthroughs of Choice Chamber back when it was in its alpha build. I don't see why not one day.
Yeah, I don't see why not either. Apparently now it ends at, I think, was it stage 100, I think is what I heard? And then there's like a new game plus or something like that?
You were telling me that, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't actually played it since that time we played it. And then you played it the next night.
Yeah, the next night, and then we got to like stage 105. No, we got to stage 100, and then we're like, all right, nothing's changing. Just like try to kill me. And then I got to like 115 before they could do it.
I don't see why we couldn't do that. We have the game, so sure. Just for you, Bruce.
All right. Next question comes to us from the Mirror Knight. What are your thoughts on the decline of big gaming companies? Do you think by the next year one will go bankrupt? And in brackets it says Konami. To be fair, isn't Capcom currently publicly tradable or like open to a buyout? Like for the past year?
I was going to say they have been for a while now. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew they probably weren't in the best situation since Sony had to step in to help with Street Fighter V.
Like, I hate to say this, like, because you sound excited, Arthur. Konami's not going to go bankrupt. They're going to make all the money.
They'll just leave the gaming sector, or at least specifically the home console gaming sector, and go to.
I bet this time next year they have no games currently in the works.
They're going to be making way more money on their Plinko and Pachinko machines than they ever did
most people
for the other
like
stuff.
most people don't go to casinos and realize this, but like there's a ton of machines from Konami specifically in American casinos, like Plants vs. Zombies, Wheel of Fortune, like all these other like well-known properties. Konami makes those slot machines.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew the Pachinko stuff, but I didn't know on the North American side.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And they have their health clubs. But yeah, I could see them leaving the.
Which sucks because they'll have all those IPs that we'll never see again. Like
Yeah.
I
mean, they could sell them off,
contract.
like 2K.
They'll never do that.
That's true.
There's so
They
many
won't do
companies
that.
just hold on to it.
That's you're right. They won't. I could see Sega going away.
I'll tell you what the problem with this whole question is that the big gaming companies, if they're big, they're never going to go bankrupt. The ones that are going to go bankrupt are ones that try to provide like new experiences that people don't take to instantly. So like your Maddens and stuff like that, your EAs, they're not going to ever go bankrupt because they play it so safe. The people you want to stay around, they're the ones that are eventually going to go bankrupt or end up doing Call of Duty maps.
Got to risk it to get the biscuit.
That's kind of the thing, is that like the companies that actually risk their whole company basically doing something fun or novel, they're the ones you want to see stay around, and they probably won't. And the people doing the same shit every month or whatever, they'll be around forever. So it's kind of a shitty situation.
You know that Halo 2, I forget the company that's developing it, but they're owned by Sega. So Halo 2 is being brought to you by Sega.
What?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I can't. What's the developer?
Halo 2?
Sorry,
What?
Halo Wars 2.
Okay, that makes more sense. I'm like, Halo 2, we're up to Halo 5.
Sorry, Halo Wars 2. Who's developing it? Creative Assembly, and Sega owns them. So Sega is bringing you Halo Wars 2, which is kind of a funny thing if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Velusian writes, what was the most exhausting grinding mechanics, challenge missions, video game that you just had to finish?
All of 99 Nights. That one's for you, Sean.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that. That was not in my head.
That was pretty good.
I remember Super Meat Boy took me a while to finish, but I had to do that.
Yeah. I didn't find that exhausting, though. I loved every minute of Super Meat Boy.
Playing through the Rock Band 2's endless set list twice in a row was pretty exhausting, that I just had to do.
Sure. Yeah. That's a great answer, actually.
That's physically exhausting. And then when you accidentally bump that start button and you're not allowed to pause the game,
Oh
and it's
my
3 in the morning, you just go to bed with your buds because you're broken. You're just a broken group of guys in the basement.
Okay, I know it's going to seem like I'm bringing this up. Like, I was reminded of it because you played it yesterday, John. But the first time I ever played Parappa the Rapper, I had to beat the final stage because I played that game. That was like my second game I've ever played on the PlayStation.
Because you had to believe. That's why you did it.
No, it's because I didn't have a memory card because I rented that game and I didn't have a memory card. It was the second game I've ever played on the PlayStation. So I had to finish it like in one night. That was the worst.
I sort of had to do that with like Chrono Trigger and Earthbound because I would rent them from a local store, and I would only be able to rent games on the weekend. So I had to hope and pray that no one rented the game and deleted my save file between then and now. That was the worst. But I somehow beat them both. In fact, I think Chrono Trigger I got like most of the endings on through rentals alone, which was crazy.
You could get sucked into that game though. It's a real good game.
I remember oh man, what was that RPG from Square? Bravely Default. Bravely Default. When I was going to say that too. To the second, like the last third of that game, that's exhausting, and I just had to keep going. And then I got stuck on the final boss, and I just had to like grind because I was like, I need this to be done so I can go back to being a living human.
So, Konagami brought up in the chat earlier, Codename Steam for you. Because you really hated that game.
Yeah, that's a good. See, I had like blocked that out of my memory. Codename Steam is really bad. Yeah, that was also that took me a while to muscle through. Yep. All right.
What's the next question?
Where are we?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I lost track too. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. James writes in to Sean and Paul. If you could go one time to record with TRG, would you do it? What game would you like to play? Sean, go ahead. Mario Party.
Oh, ew.
Oh yeah, I know you're a big fan. I know you'll love it.
Sounds terrible. I mean, that'd probably be good content, but I'd hate myself. But yeah, I guess something where we're all playing. I don't know, maybe like co-op levels in N++.
Oh man, that'd be fun.
And I haven't played N++ yet, so that would be like 2 birds with 1 stone.
I went to a friend's house on Sunday, and they were playing N+, like not plus, but plus. So I was like, all right, I'll join in for this.
N+ is great.
I know, N+ is really good.
I really need to play N++. I
don't think I picked it up yet. I really should do that.
Yeah, I haven't either. Paul.
Probably not. Because, like, the games I would want to play, we kind of did for Eno and them. Like, Castle Crashers, Left 4 Dead.
Oh, my God.
Like, we actually played the games I would want to do.
The Scott Pilgrim playthrough. The Scott Pilgrim playthrough.
Okay, we don't talk about that anymore.
I know. I just remembered it out of, like, how many years ago that was. It was just the biggest nightmare.
That's one of the best endings, though, for, like, anything that we did with that.
That movie came out 5 years ago today.
Because it just ends with, like, see you next time, and just, like, everyone bursting out laughing, and then cut to black. So dumb. But yeah, I mean, we kind of already played the games I would have wanted to play, so I'm good. We could play more Left 4 Dead sometime.
People are also pointing out, sorry for the last question of games yet to muscle through, Hyrule Warriors. That one wasn't as bad because it's not as long as the other games.
You don't have to do everything in that game.
In that game, you can like stare at the opposite wall while just hitting A, and you'll still win.
I'm surprised you didn't have more answers for that, being somebody who still does formal like reviews of beating the game. Because there's been a lot of games where you're like, I didn't really like this, and you still finished it to write a review. So
I mean, stuff's just not jumping ahead. Let me look at my reviews real quick. We can move on to the next question if you want while I'm looking this up.
All right, while you're doing that, next question comes to us from Konagami. Says, Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold released a few days ago. Oh, what are your thoughts on the series? They've got really nice box art.
I don't know anything, man, about it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's a dungeon crawling game. I'm trying to think of what to even compare it to. But yeah, the idea is like you go through like these dungeons, you draw your own maps. You had to avoid like these super powerful monsters that they don't get
Was
killed.
that the game that we got you to sign at PAX?
No, you got me to sign.
That was
my
Tales of
copy
Abyss.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
a-
Yes, right. Etrian Odyssey.
No, they're cool games. Persona Q. Yeah, Persona Q was also plays like that. It was made by the Etrian guys.
This looks like something I would enjoy a lot, actually.
Yeah, you
Okay.
probably would actually.
Yeah.
If you ever want to borrow one of them, I have. I think the whole series.
If you ever want to borrow anything, I probably have it somewhere.
Yeah. Roll a die if I have it or not.
Honestly, like I'm looking through the games I reviewed, and most of them are fine, and the ones that stick out, like Hyrule Warriors, they're just short enough that it's like I didn't have to muscle through much of it.
Okay.
It's like the big kind of RPG I don't like are the real like slogs.
Oh, wait. Etrian Odyssey is like the old school 3D first person like dungeon crawlers?
Yeah, it's kind of like Grimrock.
I'm going to love it then. Those are some of my favorite games.
Are you still playing through Phoenix Wright?
Every now and then, yeah. The problem is I've been playing so many other things. There's so many things,
999.
I played more Binding of Isaac today on the 3DS because I'm an idiot and I realized how bad it is, but I still played through it because
Have they patched it at all?
I don't know because I haven't had my 3DS open with internet around.
That reminds me of a news topic that I didn't put down. He's putting out a new game pretty soon here that's going to cost like $1.82.
Who's he? Edmund?
That's a weird
Edmund?
price.
$1.82.
Hang on, let me look it up.
$1.82.
Yeah, it's like a really specific price that was kind of interesting. I'll look it up. Hang on.
What's it called?
I'm looking it up. New game.
Oh, Fingered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's coming out soon.
Yeah, it is. I know nothing about it.
Yeah, here we go. Fingered will cost $1.87.
God damn it, I just Googled Fingered and I don't have safe search on. Oh my fucking god.
Good
God
job, Paul.
damn you, Edmund.
Actually, that comes out in 5 days, August 18th.
Is it 18th? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I guess 187 is the California Penal Code for homicide.
Nice.
So that's why it is. Anyway, that's a game coming out from him.
That's edgy.
I'm trying to think. What is it? Oh, on Steam. So there you go. New game for him. Am I reading the next one? I'll read the last one.
There's two more.
Oh, there's two. Shivani writes, has a game story ever brought you to tears? If not, which one was the closest?
Snake Eater ending. Every
Gone
time,
Home.
man.
Mine's Gone Home. John, do you have one?
I don't think I have one.
All right.
There's not a single game that you had any emotional attachment to.
Oh no, I know. I can think of something I've had emotional attachments to in the middle.
Pokemon Red.
Oh, in the middle.
That's clear. That's the one. But like nothing at like. Oh, I thought this specifically was ending. Sorry, I misheard the question.
Mario Golf.
That's the one. You did it. I know there's a couple I've had reactions to,
Amp
but I
3.
honestly can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
I know that any game that has like self-sacrifice kind of gets me. So
Yeah.
I just
Can we talk about how good Amp 3 is for a second?
No.
wait, what?
360 launch game, arguably the best one. All the cutscenes are made of live action figures on like barbecues and shit. It's really, really good. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Make you laugh. Tears of joy.
Can I get an amen?
If we're talking tears of joy,
Amazing.
it's Amped 3 and Wonderful 101.
See, like, Reese's bringing up in the chat, Shadow of the Colossus. I agree, kind of.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'll say Shadow of the
No,
Colossus.
but for me, it's not the story. It's every time one of those colossi fall after you killed it, it's the most depressing thing ever.
Because you're a monster.
It's not the whole, like,
Wink.
story thing going on in it, really, for me. It's every time one of those things falls, and it's just like the sad music, and they just crash down in front of you. That's fucking terrible. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Last question.
Well, Shivani had another question. Sorry,
Oh,
another question.
man,
If
sorry, they're all like pushed together.
If TDP had a video game, what genre would it be?
Simulation.
Lightning action. What is Metal Gear Rising's genre?
Like
Yeah, lightning action.
like full motion
It
video
would just be.
something.
Let's be honest. It would just be. What's the Burnout game you really like?
Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, it would just be Burnout Paradise.
It'd be racing.
Yeah.
Racing?
No, it would be specifically Burnout Paradise.
I'm thinking it's something similar to like Muscle March.
God damn, dating sim.
Survival horror.
No, I don't think we'd be survival horror. That doesn't fit at all.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think
I could see it being
dating sim-
FMV.
FMV, of course.
There'd be some FMV in there.
Yeah.
People are saying maybe it's a clicker. A train simulation. I think that probably hits it.
Would it have a top-down perspective? I think we should unmod Dan. He's gone crazy with power.
Dead or Alive Extreme 2. Top-down perspective edition.
I'm in.
The iced tea
Done.
is warm. I will never not be curious what that means.
I think that's exactly what it means. The iced tea is warm.
Do you remember that? You were there, right, John?
Was I?
I believe so. I think it was the three of us playing. I know Nathan was there for sure, but I thought you were there too. We were.
I think I was late. I think you guys were playing it, waiting for me to show up.
Okay, that was a weird game. The iced tea got warm. We were dying. I don't know. Dan writes, have you guys seen Inside Out? If so, what are your thoughts on the new short that was announced today?
I haven't.
Nope.
I saw it. It's really good. I didn't know there was a new short. I guess I gotta look that up. What's it going to be in front of? What? I don't know.
Podcast simulator.
Podcast simulator.
That's the worst idea for a game genre. I hope some company tries to do something with that.
Wouldn't that just be like Audacity, like a recording software?
Give it
Yeah,
time. It'll happen.
Pretty
Give
much,
it time.
I guess.
Like yeah.
Somebody should make a game for top-down perspective, like a card game or something.
Well, there's already the drinking game on the TV Tropes page.
Yeah, but I mean,
Which,
come on.
once
Don't
again, shout
anybody
out.
ever
People
do
should look
that.
up this TV Tropes page because people keep filling it out, and it's a thing that exists on the internet for your eyes.
It is a thing for your eyes.
Flat Matt says it is a podcast simulator. It's a microphone game like Lifeline. Oh my
like
god, that'd be
Seaman.
amazing.
It would
Oh my
basically be like
God.
Seaman.
Oh my god, that's the
Basically,
worst.
because you keep talking to it, and you're not quite sure if it even understands you.
Yeah.
It's doing something on the screen.
Oh
It's
man.
like, it's like Hey You Pikachu for like
Yeah.
the cool teens of 2015.
That's our genre, man.
Yeah.
We are the new Seaman. That's the stupidest fucking thing ever.
I want to be the teens Hey You Pikachu.
Can I go watch Dark Souls get played by Twitch now, please?
Yeah, this podcast is over.
Let's
Thanks
just wrap
everyone who
it up.
wrote in.
It's just topdownperspective@gmail.com.
Yes.
At TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Top Down Perspective Facebook group, John's P.O. Box. All are great ways to send in your thoughts.
Yeah. Especially the last one, for sure.
Especially the last one. Like, again, you send something in. It doesn't matter what it says. We'll read it on it from his P.O. Box. What's your guys' games of the week?
Fallout Shelter.
Cross.
I think that was a Picross and a Fallout Shelter.
Yes.
Mine is Lifeline. Which, Paul, I'm excited to see what you think about that
Yeah,
next week.
I'm actually
Man, Sean,
excited.
Sean, we should make you play the actual Lifeline and not that Lifeline.
I don't even know what you're talking about with that.
There's a game Konami made called Lifeline that you play the entire game. Well, you use controller a little bit, but most of it's played with you yelling commands at a girl.
Okay.
She's running around a space station that's being invaded by aliens.
And it uses... What is this? Is this... What system is this?
PS2.
There's a microphone on the PS2.
Yeah, because of the USB ports. You just plug into the USB ports and play them.
Okay.
So like you'll have the like shoot the eye, shoot like dodge left, like go to this door, pick up that newspaper.
I'm assuming this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work very well.
Is there any good games where you have to talk to it and it does stuff?
Rock Band?
I guess
That's pretty good.
That barely counts.
Def Jam Rap Star. Oh
There
man,
you go, that's the one.
that game's real good. Actually,
Did you guys ever play You're in the Movies?
I
No.
always wanted to.
That's where I got my. That's the webcam I'm using. That's where it comes from. But anyway, that's a dumb thing too. Okay.
Okay.
We'll be back next week. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Bye.
Later.